They say luxury is all about appearance. But what happens when the very person who built the empire no longer fits the image it expects? This is the story of one woman, powerful, brilliant, and underestimated, who walked into her own boutique and was nearly dragged out. What followed exposed the dark truth behind high fashion and changed everything. Sofia Delgado stepped into Regaldo Luxe, the luxury boutique that bore her name, blending in as just another customer. Dressed in a simple trench coat and classic loafers, she didn't scream wealth, but she didn't need to. She had built this empire from the ground up. Today, though, she wasn't here as the CEO. She was here to test her own brand. The boutique exuded opulence. Marble floors, soft lighting, and handbags displayed like art pieces. Sofia brushed her fingers over the fine leather of a signature handbag, appreciating the craftsmanship. "Can I help you?" The voice was cool, assessing. A young sales associate, Grace Bennett, blonde, impeccably dressed, stood a few feet away, her expression unreadable. But Sofia recognized it instantly, the calculation, the judgment. "I'd like to see the new collection," Sofia said evenly. Grace's gaze flicked over her outfit. No designer logos, no obvious signs of wealth, just a simple, well-dressed woman. "Of course," Grace said flatly. She gestured toward a nearby display. "You might find something more affordable here." Sofia let the words settle. Affordable, a suggestion wrapped in an assumption. She pointed to a handbag inside a glass case, the most expensive piece in the store. "I'd like to see that one." Grace hesitated, then forced a smile. "That's a very exclusive item." She didn't move to unlock the case. Sofia's patience remained intact, but her grip on her handbag tightened slightly. "It's not for everyone," Grace added, her voice dripping with condescension. The silence stretched between them. Sofia had been here before, on the other side of the counter years ago, when she was just starting out. "I'd still like to see it." Before Grace could respond, another voice cut in. "Is there a problem?" The boutique manager, Lauren Singh, approached with quiet authority. Older, more refined, with sharp eyes that missed nothing. "No problem," Grace said quickly. "Just assisting." She hadn't even bothered to ask Sofia's name. Lauren's sharp gaze took in Sofia, the handbag, the situation. One glance and she had made her decision. "I'm sorry, ma'am," Lauren said smoothly. "This boutique caters to a particular clientele. If you're looking for something more suitable, we have lower-range accessories available." "Wait a second. Tell us where you are watching from in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this." A waiting silence filled the boutique. Sofia could feel the stares from other customers, the way they pretended not to watch. She had a choice: walk away and let them remain ignorant, or remind them exactly who she was. She reached into her handbag, pulled out her phone, and dialed. "Daniel, come to the Midtown store now." Grace and Lauren exchanged uneasy glances. Neither spoke. Minutes passed. Then the boutique doors swung open. Daniel Harper, CFO of Regaldo Luxe, strode in with a commanding presence. His tailored suit was flawless, his silver-rimmed glasses precise. Two men followed, one a company attorney, the other corporate security. Grace straightened instinctively. Lauren's expression barely concealed her confusion. Daniel spotted Sofia and gave a respectful nod. "Ms. Delgado," he greeted, calm but firm. "I wasn't aware you'd be visiting today." A long, heavy silence wrapped around the boutique like an iron grip. Grace's breath hitched. Lauren blinked, her mind racing. Ms. Delgado, the woman they had dismissed, was their boss. Sofia met Grace's eyes first, then Lauren's. She saw the moment realization turned to fear. Grace shifted, Lauren's fingers twitched. Sofia let the weight of the moment settle, then turned to Daniel. "Thank you for coming so quickly. I had a rather enlightening experience here today." Daniel's jaw tightened. He knew the restrained fury in her voice. "Would you like to discuss this in private?" Sofia's lips curved into something that wasn't quite a smile. "No. I think it's important that everyone hears this." Grace's breath hitched again. Lauren's fingers twitched. The boutique had just become a stage for a lesson neither would forget. Daniel remained calm, nodding once. "As you wish." Sofia turned back to Grace and Lauren. "Do you know who I am?" Her voice was measured, almost gentle. Lauren recovered first. "Miss Delgado." Sofia lifted a hand. "You had no idea, did you? When I walked in, you judged me, my clothes, my shoes, my bag. You decided I didn't belong." Grace swallowed hard. "Miss Delgado, I didn't mean—" "Yes, you did," Sofia interrupted evenly. "You meant to make me feel like I didn't belong." Lauren tried a different approach. Miss Delgado, we have strict policies on exclusivity. Exclusivity? Sophia arched a brow. What exactly is exclusive about Regaldo Lux? Neither woman answered. Sophia exhaled. This isn't just about me. I built Regaldo Lux to be luxurious and welcoming. What I experienced today tells me we lost that vision. Daniel nodded. Miss Delgado, what would you like to do? Sophia faced Grace and Lauren. Effective immediately, I want a full review of our hiring and training policies. Every employee at this location will be retrained. She paused. As for these two, Grace stiffened. Lauren's jaw clenched. They will no longer be representing Regaldo Lux. Grace gasped. Lauren gave a stiff nod. The moment passed. Sophia turned to Daniel. Handle the rest. Of course. Without another word, Sophia brushed past the handbag she had been denied and walked out. The store fell into stunned silence. Outside, she crossed her arms, watching the city move on. Daniel joined her moments later. It's done, she nodded. This isn't just about one store, Daniel. He sighed. I know. I built Regaldo Lux to be different, she said. I remember what it was like to be judged before I even spoke. Daniel let her words settle. This is bigger than Grace or Lauren, she continued. It's about the culture we've allowed to take root. What are you thinking? She turned to him. I'm thinking it's time we shake things up. The next morning, Regaldo Lux released a statement. Luxury is not about exclusion. It is about craftsmanship, quality, and service. Today, I was reminded that somewhere along the way, we forgot that. That changes now. The story spread like wildfire. Sofia Delgado, CEO of one of the most prestigious luxury brands, had been discriminated against in her own store, and she had made it public. Some called it bold, others risky. Everyone was talking. Executives sat stiffly. Sophia stood at the head of the table, hands on the polished surface. I assume you've seen the news. Silence. Good. Here's what happens next. We're restructuring our hiring and training processes immediately. A senior executive hesitated. Sophia, with all due respect, this is not up for debate, she cut in. He fell silent. We're not just issuing an apology. We're making real changes. Every store will undergo a full customer experience evaluation. Every employee, sales associates, managers, will complete rigorous training in inclusivity, service, and professionalism. Another executive leaned forward. This could change how the brand is perceived. Sophia's gaze sharpened. Good. If we lose customers because we refuse to tolerate discrimination, they were never the customers we wanted. No one argued. 1 week later, at the Fifth Avenue boutique, sunlight streamed through the windows as Sophia stepped inside again. The staff stood straighter. Their greetings were warmer. She saw a real change, not just in how they looked at her, but in how they treated every customer. Only a week had passed, but the difference was undeniable. The air felt lighter, the tension gone. Staff greeted customers warmly, without judgment, without hesitation. A young woman in sneakers examined a silk blouse. An older man admired a leather briefcase. No assumptions, no exclusions. There it was, the handbag Grace had refused to unlock. Sophia approached, running her fingers over the fine leather. A sales associate she hadn't met before stepped up with a warm smile. Good afternoon, ma'am. Would you like to take a closer look at this piece? No hesitation, no doubt. Sophia reached into her purse, pulled out her card, and set it on the counter. I'll take it. For the first time in a long time, she walked out of Regaldo Lux feeling proud, not because of the luxury, but because of the change it now represented. The morning after Sophia's public statement, Regaldo Lux's corporate office was flooded with calls, panicked executives, scrambling managers, and thousands of customers. Some voiced outrage. Many had stories of their own, tales of walking into Regaldo Lux boutiques and feeling invisible. Social media exploded. Hashtag Regaldo Lux scandal trended. News outlets dissected every detail. Then the conversation shifted. People weren't just criticizing Regaldo Lux, they were applauding Sophia. Instead of a corporate apology, she had taken real action. She had fired those responsible, implemented change, and people noticed. A headline captured it perfectly. Sofia Delgado's response to discrimination could change luxury fashion forever. Customers returned, curious to see the difference. Other luxury brands watched nervously. Competing labels announced internal reviews. Luxury fashion had been forced to re-examine itself. Sophia hadn't just changed Regaldo Lux, she had sparked a movement. A week later, Regaldo Luxe made its biggest announcement yet. Standing before reporters, Sophia faced the cameras, voice steady, message clear. For years, luxury fashion has been built on exclusivity, but at Regaldo Luxe, we believe luxury should be about something more: quality, craftsmanship, respect. I founded this company to create something different, but we lost sight of that vision. That changes today. We are implementing permanent customer experience reforms across all our stores. Every employee, from sales associates to senior management, will undergo specialized training to ensure every customer is treated with the respect they deserve. We are also launching the Regaldo Luxe Future Leaders Program, providing mentorship, training, and opportunities for young professionals from diverse backgrounds who want to work in luxury fashion. Silence, then applause. Regaldo Luxe was no longer just another luxury brand. It was a movement. A month later, Sophia returned to the Fifth Avenue boutique. No fanfare. The design was unchanged, polished marble floors, elegant lighting, but the energy was different. Staff greeted her warmly, unaware of who she was. Customers of all backgrounds received equal care. There it was again, the handbag. She picked it up, running her fingers over the smooth leather. A young associate approached. "That's one of our finest pieces. Would you like to see the details?" No hesitation, no assumptions, just sincerity. Sophia smiled. "Yes, please." For the first time in years, she felt truly proud of her company. In a world where judgment comes before kindness and labels outweigh humanity, one woman chose not to stay silent. She didn't just reclaim her power, she redefined what power looks like. And as the fashion world watched, it learned, true luxury isn't in the price tag. It's in the people you choose to respect.